The confessional door closed with a sound like a coffin sealing shut. Father Grace Bennett held her breath in the darkness, fingers wrapped tight around the rosary in her lap. She'd heard confessions for 3 years in this crumbling South Bronx church, but never one that started like this. "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." The voice was deep, controlled, dangerous. "I've killed 17 men." Her heart stopped. Through the lattice screen, she could see only shadows, the outline of broad shoulders in what looked like an expensive suit. This wasn't one of her usual parishioners. This was something else entirely. "I run the Valentino family. I've ordered deaths, distributed weapons, destroyed lives." A pause, heavy with something she couldn't name. "And tonight, I'm here because I can't sleep anymore. Because every time I close my eyes, I see their faces." Grace's throat went dry. She should call the police. She should run. And you'll show me, through actions, not words, that change is possible." "And if I can't?" "Then I'll know that redemption is a lie, and I can stop being a priest and start being what I probably should have been all along, someone who believes the world is exactly as dark as it seems." The weight of her words hung in the confessional like smoke. Finally, Dante stood. Through the screen, she saw him straighten his suit jacket, Armani, probably, custom-tailored. The kind of luxury that existed in a different universe from her threadbare collar and donated shoes. "Next Tuesday," he said quietly. "Same time. Mr. Valentino." "Dante. If we're doing this, call me Dante." The confessional door opened, flooding the small space with the golden light of votive candles. Grace caught a real glimpse of him for the first time. Tall, devastatingly handsome in a way that seemed almost unfair, with dark eyes that held more pain than any 33-year-old should carry. He looked at the screen that separated them, as if trying to see through it to the woman on the other side. "Thank you, Father Grace," Dante said. Then he was gone, the church door closing behind him with a sound like a promise. Grace sat in the confessional for "the rules. I understand more than you think." The words came out sharper than Grace intended. Dante went still. "What does that mean?" Grace turned to face him, and for the first time let him see past the collar and the vows to the woman underneath. 5 years ago, I was a surgeon. Engaged. Happy. Then someone like you, someone in your world, decided my fiancé had prosecuted the wrong person. They sent a man to our home. I watched him die. I nearly died too." She touched her lower back reflexively. "So yes, Mr. Valentino, I understand your world very well. I understand what it costs." The silence that followed was deafening. Dante's face had gone pale. "Grace." "Father Grace," she corrected, but her voice wavered. "Who was he?" "Your fiancé. David Chen, assistant district attorney. He was building a RICO case against organized crime families in New York." Grace met Dante's eyes. "Including yours." She watched the information hit him like a physical blow. Watched him process the implications, the connections, the terrible irony of fate that had brought him to her confessional. "Did I?" His voice was raw. "Was it my order?" "No." Grace said it with certainty. "I checked. Obsessively. It was the Marchetti family. Different organization. But the same world. The same rules you're talking about." Dante took a step toward her, then stopped himself. "I'm sorry." "God, Grace, I'm so—" Neither of them moved to break the contact. "Grace," he said quietly, dangerously, "we need to be careful. I know. This can't be what it feels like it's becoming. I know." But neither of them pulled away. Week 5 changed everything. Dante arrived 15 minutes early, moving differently. Tense, alert, dangerous in a way Grace hadn't seen before. His knuckles were bruised, There was a cut above his eyebrow, and his suit jacket was missing. What happened? Grace was on her feet immediately. Sit down, please. Dante closed her office door, checked the window, then turned to face her. I need to tell you something, and you're not going to like it. Grace's heart hammered. What did you do? I found him. Dante's voice was flat, empty. The man who killed David. The one the Marchetti family sent. The world tilted. What? His name is Vincent Rossi. He's been in hiding for 4 years. Thought everyone had forgotten about him. But I have resources the police don't. And I've been looking since you told me about David. Dante's jaw clenched. I found him 3 days ago. Grace couldn't breathe. Where? She almost ignored it. Nothing good happened at 2 a.m., but something made her answer. Father Grace. The voice was young, male, terrified. My name is Carlo. I work for Dante Valentino. He told me to call you if anything happened to him. Grace's blood turned to ice. What happened? The Marchetti family called a meeting. Said they wanted to discuss Dante turning in their guy. It was supposed to be just talk, but... His voice cracked. They ambushed him. We're outnumbered. He's been shot. Father, I don't know what to do. Where are you? Warehouse in Red Hook. But father, you can't come here. It's not safe. He just wanted me to tell you. Grace was already pulling on clothes, her old surgeon instincts roaring to life. Send me the address. Now. Father. I'm not just a priest, Carlo. I used to be a trauma surgeon. If Dante's been shot, I might be the only chance he has. Her voice steadied, became the voice that used to command operating rooms. Send me the address and tell me his condition. Carlo rattled off details. Gunshot wound to the left shoulder, another graze to his ribs, heavy bleeding. Grace grabbed her old medical bag, kept in her closet for emergencies at the soup kitchen, and was out the door in 3 minutes. For you? I'll survive anything. The next 3 minutes were the longest of Grace's life. Dante positioned himself as a shield between her and the gunfire, his body a wall of protection even as blood soaked through his clothes. His men fought with disciplined precision, buying time, holding ground. And then came the sound of sirens. Lots of them. The Marchetti soldiers scattered, but it was too late. The FBI and NYPD flooded the warehouse in a coordinated raid that suggested someone had been waiting for an excuse to move on both families. Dante lowered his gun slowly, his hands visible, his movements careful. Dante Valentino? An FBI agent approached, weapon drawn. You're under arrest for... I'm cooperating, Dante said calmly. Full cooperation. Names, operations, everything. But I want immunity for my testimony and protection for the woman behind me. Non-negotiable. The agent's eyes flicked to Grace, taking in her priest's collar and the blood covering her clothes. Who is she? Someone under my protection. Someone innocent in all this. Dante's voice was steel. She doesn't get touched by any of this. That's the deal. We'll see what the DA says. They cuffed Dante. But recently, someone taught me that redemption isn't about running from your past. It's about transforming it into your future. She took a breath, her voice steady and sure. I'm going back to medicine. I'm reopening my surgical practice, specializing in trauma cases. I'm going to save lives the way I was meant to, in operating rooms, not just in prayer. Old Mrs. Rodriguez stood up. But Father Grace, who will take care of us? The new priest arriving next month will do a far better job than I ever did, Grace said gently. Because he's here for the right reasons. Not running from something, but running toward something. After the service, Grace packed up her small office. 5 years of her life in cardboard boxes. She was almost finished when there was a knock on the door. "Come in." A man entered, and Grace's world stopped. He looked different. His hair was shorter. He wore jeans and a simple sweater instead of designer suits. There was a scar along his jaw she didn't remember. But those eyes. God, those eyes. Dante. His name came out as a whisper. Actually, it's Daniel now. Daniel Romano. He stayed by the door, respectful of the distance between them. "I know I'm not supposed to be here. I know the rules of witness protection. But I heard through channels I still have, that you were leaving the priesthood. And I had to come. How long have you been watching?" Grace's voice was shaky. "Since the trial ended." "Not watching, exactly. Just checking in. Making sure you were safe, that you were okay." Daniel, took a careful step forward. "I never stopped thinking about you, Grace. Every day for 18 months, I've wanted to come back. But I knew